Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover.
Because here's what is also a crime, because having that history means that they know what the police do now. They know that the constant stopping, the constant questioning you, the constant where you going, where do you work, the constant that they know that this is the same, and it is a reminder of us that really we're not a part of this place. You know what I mean? It's a reminder to us that no, it's a separation. We might say integration, we might say slavery's over, but the psychological effect is still the same. And on top of it, because there's so much twisted mindset, because so many of us believe that we are free to a degree, when we run into that, encounter it, and like you said, it'll frustrate you after a while, and we respond to it. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we end up in a coffin by responding to it. And I know growing up in New York City, I tell the story all the time, constantly. It was a multi occasion weekly that you were stopped by the police in question, and people did get frustrated, and incidents happen. So it's amazing the tyranny that was on them. And as I'm looking out this window, if that's where you work, right there, that in itself is such a psychological game. You're in the house, you're in the house with 11 people. You get up in the morning, first thing you see is this. And after a while, you start, just like being in prison, you'll start to look forward to getting out of the house and getting into that field and working just to get your day going. You know what I mean? Since that's your only real hope, is to be successful in what it is. We probably became excellent farmers. Probably invented things and invented farm tools. It's crazy. It's crazy. This, every Black person in America, Latino, has to visit this. Y'all come down April 1st. Oh, it's absolutely on. It's gonna be something to see. This is something to see. Now, what would really, I know we can't do it, but what would really be deep is to spend a night in it. Get a couple candles and really feel this. Wake up in the morning with this joint on the sleeping bag. You will be like, no. Yo, sir. Oh, man. Hey, we over here, the Stagsville Plantation, and it is something to see. I mean, this coming down for the Passover this year, it's gonna mean more to you than ever before. Like, you're gonna experience Egypt and American slavery at the same time. I'm standing in a plantation home, 10, 11 people in this one room, no glass on the windows, drafty as hell. I mean, it's drafty like I can't even explain. And all you got to look forward to is the plantation right outside the window. I mean, you talk about hell. These plantations was no different than being incarcerated, being in a cell. All you want to do is get out the cell and get out in the yard just to start your day in whatever way you would want. Because this right here is amazing to even have to go through this. And after a while, the mindset, and according to the tour guide, you go out the house and a random white man can come up to you anytime he felt like and just start questioning you. And it could happen anytime, and they used it as a tool of surveillance. I mean, we could go all into it, man. It's this. If you don't do this, then you shorten yourself on the history of what you and your people went through, and you beaten yourself from really getting an understanding of where you came from, so that you could really understand where you need to go. Let me tell you something. If you with a clear mind, you come and visit this slave plantation, you'll never pick up a crack pipe again.
Right.
You'll never be a criminal again.
That's right.
You'll never not be responsible for your family, your children. You'll never be a degenerate or an alcoholic again. Like this is the most sobering thing you could come across, because this really happened. This ain't a show. This ain't, Barnum and Bailey circus. This really happened to your forefathers. And we talking 1,000 people packed up in there. This one room, this the projects on a whole nother level. Projects totally on a whole nother level. You owe it to yourself, man. April 1st, everybody coming in from around the world. You got to join us on this one, y'all. You got to join us on this. I'm so glad I came out. Hey, to why to all you brothers, man, for bringing me out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went from New York back to New York in the 1800s by just coming down here. You know what I mean? Amazing. I don't want to hold us up. I know we're on the tour.
They say they want to hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it coach shit. See me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they want to hear that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my
just a quick question for you. Is this a nod or just like a separate?
No, this is an addition that was made onto this house over the years after the end of slavery.
Okay, so they just kind of put this into.
We focus on teaching about the history of slavery here, but of course the story of this place doesn't end in 1865.
This is true.
Many of the families who've been enslaved here after the end of slavery, they hoped for obviously more freedom and opportunity. They organized for citizenship and voting rights, and they especially in some cases spoke up about the need to have compensation for what had been taken from them during slavery here. And especially in a few cases, they described land as an important part of what could be. So some families here might have thought that the land of this place should be broken up and be theirs, right? They were the ones that had made this land profitable for so long.
Right.
But of course, that never came to pass. And so many families here, some agreed to sign sharecropping contracts and remain here as sharecroppers and tenant farmers. And sometimes they continue to live in these same houses, not just in the 1860s, but in a few of these houses into the 1940s or 1950s, right? And by the 1940s, there was only one family living in this house. So there weren't nearly as many people crammed into the building, but they were still living in the place where their ancestors had been enslaved. And the last family that lived here built this back room as a kitchen. So they had an indoor kitchen.
I know what
added on. Yeah.
I know what I asked her. Where did they cook? Because I ain't seen nothing, no stove or nothing, nothing.
Right.
So
no,
just in the fireplaces with the hot coals inside there. In a lot of cases, especially in the heat of the summertime, people probably built fire pits outside and were cooking outside to keep the smoke, keep the heat out of the main, and obviously with such a cramped space,
you didn't want
it made sense to do things outside.
Gotcha.
But by the decades after the end of slavery, slowly the last family that lived here, all those, almost 80 years later, they would have had a wood stove. So more of a stove to cook over that was in this building and an indoor kitchen room.
Wow. To the 1940s, to the last family.
Boy.
That's where barbecue had to come from. They must have been barbecuing like crazy out here. Brisket must have been amazing. If they got brisket.
It was hard for people to get access to. And one of the first things we see happen after the end of slavery, when the United States troops arrive here and finally start to enforce this promised freedom, is we see families kind of rise up and take food for themselves. Because for all these generations in slavery, that food had been rationed and limited, and of course there have been huge amounts of food being grown here,
but they wasn't
but of course people didn't have free access to that. And so families are breaking open the smokehouses and they are killing animals and having fresh meat for themselves. Because for all those generations it probably had been they were the ones raising the hogs, they were the ones raising the cattle, but they didn't necessarily, if they had access to meat, it was probably the worst quality
the part you wanted to throw away, tripe, stuff like pig feet.
And so you see one of the ways that we can think about people celebrating their freedom here was sort of by feasting and having taking that food for themselves. Yeah.
Wow, that's like the riots.
Yeah.
Where they raid the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
This is deep. You know what I'm saying?
I'll stay right on in that little house. So the good Lord call me home. Then I will see Master Paul once more.
Dang.
Oh, man.
Dang. That's all. Then he see Master Paul once more. Let's go, y'all. We have the radio station. Come on.
Shalom Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yohana's putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about
Hey, Shalom Shabbat Thumb to all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all the brothers, right? Shalom Yahashema Allah Thun Bahashim Yahushai to all the sisters, right? This is the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, right? Under Commander Jerry Yohana. Once again, we're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Right, so you ever see any of these other Israelites coming out and trying to teach you about the Bible, understand this, they're not the home of the truth, right? ISUPK will only be the home of the truth under Commander Jerry Hunter. All these other men, what they're doing is really, they're scattering, you know what I'm saying, the children of Israel, right? Like Christ said, if you don't join with me, he that doesn't join with me scattereth, right? You divide the nation when you're not in this one body. So what are you doing outside of this one body? You're doing your own little thing, right? You're not with Christ. You're not building your house with Christ. What you're doing is taking in another religion, which is what all these other nations did, right? Well, all right. So for today, we're going to teach a little bit of, we'll go into Valentine's, right? We'll talk about that, the spirit of Valentine's, what we're seeing right now. Give me a second. What is this? Okay, there you go. All right, Salakia. Like I was saying, that spirit of Valentine's is really more so attacking women, right? I seen a video. I don't know if anybody else seen it, right? I was trying to look for it on YouTube, but it's not popping up. I guess it's only in TikTok. So this brother got his woman some balloons, right? This woman got his woman. This brother got his woman, his rib, some balloons, and what she ended up doing was popping every single one of them with a pin, right? Popped all of them. Why? Because she said that, how, like, basically saying, how dare you get me uh $1 balloons? Is that like saying, is that what I'm worth to you, right? Is that what I'm worth to you? Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had to apologize. He had to say, I'm sorry for getting you uh Dollar Tree or Dollar General balloons, right? He had to apologize. And that's the problem with you brothers, is that you don't check that your woman. You don't check your woman for the way she's acting. You think the way she's acting is acceptable because of how society is being run and what the majority of society says about Valentine's Day, right? How to have a proper Valentine's, how to love your woman properly. You listen to what society says, and you think that that is the proper way to love your woman. You think that loving your woman is giving her a gift every Valentine's Day, that never forgetting what day she was born, because that is the most important thing to her. Like, if you forget her birthday, you will catch, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna hear it. You're gonna be sleeping outside because you forgot her birthday. She's gonna bring it up every year, to every 2 weeks, every weekend. She's gonna remember that you forgot her birthday, and she's gonna feel like she's worthless to you. Why? Because in her mind, that's what value is. That's what love is, right? In her mind, she thinks that's what real love is someone being appreciative of the day that she was born and getting her a gift. And not just any gift, it's going to be an expensive gift, a gift that means something to her, right? A gift that is better, right, than what you would give a whore in her eyes, right? Her eyes she thinks she's better than a whore, right? Well, her actions say otherwise. Her actions will reveal to you that she is nothing but a whore by the way she treats you, right? She is acting like a whore. She's acting like a selfish BICTH, right? She's acting like a female dog. Why? Because you are being, you in your mind, you're thinking of her, right? You're trying to volunteer with these what do you call them, pagan customs, right? And you're trying to show her that you love her, right? But really, she doesn't want you to show her that you love her, right? She wants you to worship her, right? She wants you to worship her. She wants you to bow down to her. You know what I'm saying? She wants you to feel like she is the one in control of the relationship, right? She wants you to feel like that. She wants you to know that she is the one in control of the relationship. She is the one that says what needs to be. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that tells you how she needs to feel. She needs to feel happy every day. And what's that gonna cause? That's gonna cause you to lose your integrity. That's gonna cause you to lose your morality. So like mainly your integrity. You know what I'm saying? Something that a man is hold. You know what I'm saying? Is known by, which is his balls, and you will lose that giving them to her every Valentine's, right? And let's get into it, right? Let's start with First Corinthians 11:3, right? Let's go to First Corinthians, right? Once again, this is the ISUPK, right? The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, which we're gonna teach. You know what I'm saying? This not what we're teaching is practical, meaning you can use this anywhere, right? Whether it be at work, whether it be with your family, whether it be with your loved ones, right? With your relationship with your rib, right? You could use this everywhere, right? It's just, the thing is that when you don't have knowledge, when you don't have uh, um, understanding, you don't have guidance. You know what I'm saying? Like knowledge is really what guides you to a proper, easier path than what you're used to, right? You're used to leaning into your own understanding and messing up and getting back up and messing up again. Why? Because you don't learn from your mistakes, and more so because you don't understand the mistake that you're doing, right? You don't understand that you're making a mistake every single time you try to give a woman a gift, and in appreciation or in volunteering with these pagan holidays. So you gotta remove yourself from the world, man. You got to remove yourself from the world. That's one of the things, right? Remove your spirit from the world, right? From loving the world, right? The things that are in the world, right? You gotta make sure that you aren't part of this world. The world that is destroying you is society, right? The majority of society, where everybody picks to see what the majority loves, which is Super Bowl. From the Super Bowl to voting to give me some other ones. Valentine's, which is, you know what I'm saying, what we're talking about, and so many others, right? The Grammys, right? The Grammys, where all you seen was nothing but LGBTQs running around and greeting one another and being appreciated of one another. Like they suffered so much as if they were like black like us, right? They felt like they talked about so much about their suffering that you would think they were black.
That's right.
Which really they can that's like saying, well, right, like for them it's easier to go back to their natural state where they won't get that much hatred being changing, right? They changed that which was natural into something that they felt like it was right. Well, let me tell you something. We get hated on every day, you know what I'm saying? And we can't change being black. We can't change being Mexican. We can't change our state, right? Our poverty. We can't change the way we look, right? The way we speak, the way we talk, the our environment. We can't change that. Why? Because we're born in this environment. But the world, right, or America will allow you to change your gender,
Right.
right? Allow you to change that which was natural, and just to make you feel happy, and then you're gonna complain about uh, uh getting hatred from the world. If I could, sir, let me get 1 Corinthians 11:3.
Huh. All right.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ,
Right.
and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High.
Right. This is how you build your house. This is how you build, you know what I'm saying? This is how a relationship should be built off of, right? Because Slakia, it says, I would have you known that the head of every man is Christ, meaning the type of man that a woman should be looking for is a man that follows Christ, right? And then the head of the woman is the man. Another thing, right? This is how your household should be running, man. Your man, so like the man is above the woman, meaning if the man says this is what we're gonna be doing, then you're gonna have to listen to your man, right? Now, if the woman is above the man, what does that say, right? If that, like, so like I said before you came in, I was talking about how I seen on TikTok, right, a video of a sister, or I want to say it's a sister, right, and she was popping all the balloons from this brother that got her, like, I want to say like 5-8 balloons, right? And they were all $1, right? From a Dollar Tree, and she got mad, and I could hear him in the background apologizing, saying sorry, baby, for getting you balloons from the Dollar Tree. And he had to apologize because that gift wasn't worthy enough for her, right? And with that, it's like your woman decides what gift you should give her, right? She decides she needs to be rewarded every day, even when she's acting like a monster, even when she's acting evil, and when she cheats on you, she expects you to be understanding of her and why she felt like she should be she's allowed to cheat, just like with the whole um what's that brother from Prince of Bel Air? Um, oh man, Will Smith. Slacking. Just like how Will Smith and Jada, right? That whole relationship between taking her to or having her take you to the red table and explaining how she feels,
Right.
how she felt like she hasn't felt love in a long time. It's what, like, the words that she said, right? I haven't felt love in a long time. And in his mind is like, man, I'm I'm I haven't I'm the problem, right? I'm the problem. I'm the cause of her sleeping with another man. Like, you letting your woman run you all around the house, telling you do this, do that, gives you a look, tells you no, like acts like your mother, like puts her hands on her hips and shake and tells you no, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing that. Like, why? Because you allow it. You know who you follow? You follow your woman. You don't follow Christ. That's who you follow. That's who your head is, right? Your head is the woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing that's happened since the beginning, since Genesis. Since the beginning of times, men have allowed a woman to rule over them, right? And you shouldn't allow that. You shouldn't give a woman an excuse to have any mistakes, right? Because just like a man shouldn't have any mistakes, right? Shouldn't a man should work on being perfect, so should a woman, right? Let's get that in let's get real quick Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Go ahead, sir.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. And it reads, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh the Most High had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the power said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Right. Right. The serpent, right, was more what? Subtle than any beast of the field, right? Like the serpent meaning, right, the so-called white man, the oppressor, right, being more subtle than any beast of the field, the Lord hath which the Lord hath made, and he said unto the woman, right, unto Eve, yea, has the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden, meaning questioning it, right? Like, the woman, like this serpent knew who to go to first, right? Just like Esau, He knew who to take down first, and it's gonna be your woman. And wherever you go, your woman is vulnerable, right? She could be out at the slavery. She's gonna find herself a working husband. She's gonna be she could be anywhere. She could just be in the streets, right? And she gonna run into someone. But you're gonna have to teach that woman, man. You're gonna have to break her where mentally, right? And for you brothers, right, you got to make sure that you get yourself a woman that is under you, meaning she obeys you, she listens to you and favors you over anyone else. Why? Because you know what she needs. You love her enough to guide her and to protect her from the world, protect her from where everybody else tells her how she should feel, and you tell her and you correct her on what she should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like stop worrying about feelings. Stop putting feelings in a situation where it's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord said, what that the man, so like that Christ is above the man, and that the man is above the woman, and that Christ is under the Most High, right? The Most High is above everyone else, right? That's how your house should be structured, right? You should make sure that you keep that same structure, man. You should make sure that your woman is underneath you. You should make sure that if she ever goes out of line, then you check her, you watch her, you tell her stop hanging out with your friends, man. Your friends, like those friends are not your friends. I know you know them since high school, but guess what? Those friends, all they're doing is telling you to get away from me when I'm just trying to help you out. I'm telling you the truth, man. I'm telling you to what? Stop eating pork. Stop celebrating birthdays, man. Stop celebrating these pagan holidays. Right? Love the Lord, man. That's the problem with society today, that nobody wants to correct a woman, but they're so quick to beat up a brother for, you know what I'm saying, for anything, for the littlest things, for being poor, right? For anything, it doesn't matter, right? But a brother can't catch a break, but a woman will be like unto a what? A woman will be questioned what she should be doing, right? Just like the serpent did, right? Ye shall not eat. He said, right? Eat, has God said? Yea, has the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden, right? It's like it. Go ahead.
He said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Lest ye what?
Lest ye die.
Lest ye die, right? Of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, ye shall not eat neither of it, neither shall ye touch it, right? Like the Most High doesn't even want you touching it. And what's this in reference to? This is talking about us, right? And what the other nations, right? Their fruits compared to the Most High's fruits, man. Right? Like you should be focusing on what the Most High said rather than what the world is is feeding you, right? What's being said right now? That this day is the day you should buy your woman a gift. Like I don't know, you can turn a corner without seeing bears with flowers and balloons. Like all throughout, I don't even think it's only in Arizona. I think it's all throughout the world, right? Where everybody is trying to sell or trying to hustle, you know what I'm saying, you out of your you know what I'm saying, what hustle you into showing you that you should love your woman on this day, right? And it's like that almost every year. Every year, uh, the world teaches you that you should be giving your family the best Christmas tree, the best gifts. If it's not, if you don't, it's like you have to be rich in order to show love to your loved ones. Like these are the days you have to give them love, man. You got it. The best Christmas is gonna be a well spent one, right? You're gonna have to put a loan, you're gonna have to take out a loan or you're gonna have to take out money from the bank, draw out your savings accounts just so you can give your family the all American dream, the all, what I'm saying, the one that you see being captured in every movie or on every postcard. Like you look at what you see and you think that that's what I should be having. I should be on my knees with a ring proposing to my woman. I should be I should be getting her the best dress. She should be having the best because why? She's the love of my life. When the love of the love of your life should be the Lord, man, not your woman. You should love your Lord. You should put all that energy that you put into that woman into the Lord, man. You should love the Lord the way you love that woman. And because you don't, well, the Lord had put something to destroy you, man. To that woman is really like the oppressor. Right? So like it, sir.
That's right.
That woman is like the oppressor. Like a woman like that will throw dishes at you because you didn't get her the gift that she deserved. A woman that's gonna key your car because you didn't text her I love you too. A woman that is going so like a woman is gonna ask, you're gonna walk into the house and she gonna ask you to let me smell your rod.
Yes. Precept.
Slack
Isaiah chapter
Go ahead.
3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors,
Right.
and women rule over them.
And women rule over them. Children are their oppressor, and women rule over them. You being ruled by your woman, man. And these other nations, they're like children.
That's right.
Like these are the nations. Look at like literally like, oh my, it kind of like I don't want to say kind of. It really frustrates me how when you see or hear another nation speak down on you, and you know that their nation, these other nations wouldn't be a goddamn thing without God's chosen people,
That's
without
right.
these 12 tribes. It's like, oh my God, like you want to like basically like you just want to arrancarte los pelos, like you just want to pull your hair. Like it really frustrating because these nations are nothing. They're children. How is a child gonna govern a whole nation?
Right.
You see what's going on around the world. A train like man, all like the poverty, the oppression, the they don't even know what to do about anything, man. They don't even know what to do about these school shootings. First of all, right? They don't know how to handle these school shootings. The man, they don't know how to deal with these other nations with these wars. Right? It's like, go ahead.
Sluggy, if I may, what you bring out so heavy, that precept saying that they're like children, the children are oppressors. The so-called Edomite, the so-called Caucasian of the Bible,
Right.
who is the devil,
That's
he
right.
is just like a child. Like, think about the things that he does. He bungee jumps off of the side of a bridge for fun. That's childish. They enjoy all types of manner of dumb things, setting themselves on fire and doing these things for entertainment, just like today, Valentine's Day.
Right.
It's childlike behavior. You give somebody chocolates, give them some little candy, and you're supposed to make them happy. Even when it comes down to like a child, you know, you gotta get a 2-year-old. Oh, don't put that in your mouth. Don't eat that. Or put that roach down. Don't eat that. You know, put that cat and that dog down. Like, these oppressors just eat anything, they do anything. They need us to watch over them, man, because really they childish, man. It's just sad that we're underneath them.
Right, trying to pet a lion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to wrestle with a bear, trying to like do all these things where it's like just look at Jackass. I don't know if anybody knows like the show, like that movie Jackass. Like, just listen to like that's America. Like that's these children. Like that's who you look at them and it's like these are the people we're underneath of. It is horrible, man. Right. It is horrible. Like, we shouldn't be under these nations. We're way better than that. But when you become like them, when you start to love them, when you start doing what they do, when you start following their customs, when you leave the religion of your fathers, right, and you start worshiping their gods, their idols, right? Like, and it's been happening, right? We've been thinking that they are everything. They're like our father, right? Mm-hmm. Back in when Trump was in office, all the Puerto Ricans would call him Papa Trump, right? Papa Trump, you know what I'm saying? And this and that, like, and thinking that Barack Obama was gonna do something. Joe Biden is helping us out, But man, we like children are locked up in cages, and nobody really talks about that, right? Everybody's too busy getting a Valentine's gift and distracted with the Super Bowl, distracted with the Grammys, and later on they're gonna be distracted with something else. That's why you hardly hear about what's going on with blacks and Hispanics now. They want to cover it up with these things, right? With these pagan holidays, right? So like I'll read verse 5. So like go ahead. Verse 5.
The book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 5. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Right, knowing good and evil. Your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, right? And this is all being told to a woman. Oh man, it's like, excuse me, queen, right? Excuse me, queen. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful, talking like, you know what I'm saying? You really trying to get into it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to seduce this woman. You're trying to tell her that what the serpent is doing, he knows what this woman wants and what this woman like what will benefit this woman, not only her but him as well,
right? Which is
to destroy that household, like destroying, like making sure that woman knows that she's a guy and she like the weakest vessel, right? The weaker vessel, right? You're gonna go up to her and make sure that, how do I overtake over this nation, man? This nation is being run by nothing but men. This nation is strong. Their men are strong. But you know what? These men have women, right? These men have women. Guess what? How do I take over these nations, these strong men? Sure. You know what? Let me talk to the women real quick, right? Let me talk to that woman, this naive woman, right? And see if I can give her something, give her a loaded gun where she's gonna destroy her whole house. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If I made one more precept.
Come.
Looking for 1 Timothy chapter 2 in verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Con.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Right. The woman being deceived. So like you want to break that?
I can't just it's saying he wants the woman in verse 12. I suffer not a woman to teach. Sisters are not allowed to teach the men.
Right.
They're not allowed to be over the men. When in the Lord's army, there are no women that have rank. They're not going to be over men. Commander Junior Hanna says, when we get in our power, there aren't going to be any women police officers. Not going to be women, soldiers. They're not going to be over here having authority over a man. So it says, do not usurp authority over a man. That's like to take power that's not given to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's because the woman was deceived and Adam was not. Like, that's who your oppressor tries to get on first. And that's in the Willie Lynch papers. They said when they wanted to break the slaves, they go to the woman and put her in a state of fear, and then she's going to raise the children to listen to the oppressor.
Right.
And so her wanting to gain power in this context allows her to think she's going to become over her man, and really she becomes on the bottom of everybody. There's no different than today. Like you hear our sisters join the feminist movement.
Right.
They join the feminist movement and think that, the women is being oppressed, not realizing that the white woman is oppressing her along with the white man.
Right.
You're not going to get free from the black man. How is a black man or a Hispanic man oppressing you?
Right. Right.
When they're being oppressed at the same time. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
But they feel like, we get free from him. We don't need him no more. We're going to be independent. Women have power, when in reality, you'll never gain your true power because you need your man and your woman to gain that power. And you need to be following a man to do that.
Right. And I understand this, like a woman does hold a lot of power in her hands.
Right.
But the problem is or the issue is how you use it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a lot of power, yes. Mm-hmm. But with that power, you should do it to build up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of destroying, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of destroying your house, you should build up your house. That way you and your family will be a lot better, right? You and your family will be a lot better when you build up your house rather than destroy that man. And then once you destroy that man doesn't even want to be around you. That man wants to leave. And when he leaves, the children are going to be without the father. Now the mothers has to destroy the children as well. Why? Because children remind her of that man. Now that whole house is destroyed. A generation of curses. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman is going to destroy. What's that one scripture that says, all wickedness is nothing but unto a woman. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like all you could combine all the wickedness in the world, mm-hmm. but it doesn't come close to the wickedness of what a woman does, man. Like it's so much that a woman does in just in lust for that power, right? That's why it says I let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, right? But I suffer not a woman to teach. And that's a problem too in the Christian church, right? Where they allow a woman to go up and teach. Let a woman go up there and what? Have position, right? And America will give you the same right, right? You're going to get that position, that your voice is going to be heard. And then later on, she's going to hang around with those same children that we just talked about, right? Mm-hmm. And she's going to talk about free the nipple, right? Mm-hmm. Talk about I'm not a woman, I'm a man, mm-hmm. right? And she's going to go so far deep into where she just doesn't want to take the responsibility of or the title of a woman. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna take the title of anything else but a woman and a wife or a mother.
Mm.
Which is those titles are very rare nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Those titles are very rare nowadays because everybody wants to be what they're not. What the most high, you know what I'm saying? The like those value those are very rare, right? Nobody wants to be every woman is being told, like with the whole Roe versus Wade, women were fighting to get that right to abort their children.
Damn.
Having the right to murder their own children, right? That power to of life and death, basically. Having the like the eye opener, right? Where the serpent said, ye shall be, your eyes shall be open and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Right? What's the good and what's the evil? The good should be you should listen to the Lord, right? The evil should be you shouldn't murder that children.
Right.
The good is you know you can make it, you can go to college and still have that child. The evil is no, you can't have that child. You can't go to college without having that child. So like without aborting that child. Like that's evil. Like how you gonna talk about this child is gonna hold you back? And then meanwhile, you go and you're still being held back with nothing to hold you back. You're still in your mind. I mean, everything else is still holding you back. Why don't you just have that child, man, and not suffer your body more torment than it already has? Like I remember, I always tell this story. There's this one woman. She has to go to the ER every single time she has her monthly because of so many abortions she's had. Like that is.
Damn.
Man, that's that evil. That knowledge of good and evil. Well, guess what? You thought it was good to have an abortion. Well, now you're finding out it's evil, right? And the Lord will do that to you. To you women, the Lord will teach you right from wrong, right? Because you think you know it all until you get checked by the Lord, right? Let's go to so we got First Timothy. On this. Con, let's read verse 6 real quick on Genesis.
Con, no sweat. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Mm.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Right, and sewed themselves, right? They were naked, right? I mean, we'll break that down later on, right? But the woman saw that the tree was good, right? For food, right? It was pleasant, right? And it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. She took the fruit thereof and did eat, right? She thought that whole the trees in the garden is talking about these other nations, right? These other nations will make you think that is wise. Buddha and Buddhism and the whole whatever they call them, those karate suits, all that looks nice. The rocks and the stars and the moon and the crystals and the astrology, that all sounds nice and it's pleasant to the eyes when they tell you that this is who you are, that your birthstone, right? That's pleasant to the eyes, right? And you think you gain knowledge through that, right? And then what happened else? It said, and did eat and gave to her husband with her, and he did eat. Man, the man that's supposed to be over the woman, right? Instead of checking the woman,
right,
for eating, right, for doing what the Lord said was wrong, right? And to not do, right? For disobeying the Lord, this man ate with her, right? Which is what the serpent was his plan and his job and what he wanted to do, right?
Mhm.
Which is to get both of you to go against the Lord, right? To go against the Most High, what the Most High said. Go ahead, Salaki. Go ahead.
No sweat, no sweat. If I might, one more precept.
Come.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. Salaki. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness but not denying the power thereof. From such turn away. It's saying all these are the type of men and people that are going to be in the last days, traitors without natural affection. That's the LGBT, boasters, blasphemers, covetous, lovers of their own selves. Verse 6, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and led captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with divers lusts. Like these are the type of men that are going to go into your homes and lead your women captive away, like through these lies and all these different lusts that they're telling them. And that's how the family gets more and more destroyed. The other precept will just paraphrase is that how can you destroy man's goods? You have to bind up the strong man.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's the same thing where it says, for this sort of they which creep into houses and led captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lusts. So that's a precept of what you were talking about.
No, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? You most definitely are a silly woman when you allow yourself to be beguiled by these things. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that this is the only time you should feel the most appreciated, right? And you should feel, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't feel love just one time. You know what I'm saying? If a man really loves you and you deserve it, right? You should get presents almost every day. You should understand that you deserve, you know what I'm saying, to be appreciative, but you don't deserve it when you destroying your man and his manhood, when you trying to take away his pride, right? You should be his pride, but at the same time, you really not. Like you really not doing what a woman should be doing, which is a pillar of rest, right? You're not giving that man that rest that he needs and that secure, that love, that comfort, right? That should come from a woman. You're being like a monster, man.
Damn.
You're being like a scorpion. What did it say? It's like holding you. It's like holding a poisonous scorpion in your hand, and you're holding all that venom, and then you're just holding it there. That's what you do. Like for you men, you men are silly too when you try to make that into that woman as like a princess.
I got that precept, right?
Go ahead, sir.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro.
Yep.
He that hath hold of her is as though he had held a scorpion.
Right. Like that. Another one where it says right there too, it's like walking into a sandy hill. Like it's like so many precepts, like a sandy hill. Like every day you wake up with her, it's like a man, like you're doing this a lot, man. You're like you're frustrated. People at work are talking about you. They make side jokes. You're like a byword. Oh, you don't want to end up like such and such. Oh, you don't want to be like him. Hey, relax. Don't be like your brother, right? And your family is like, oh, don't be like the oldest, right? You're over there. He doesn't even know what to do. Bring shame to this house, dealing with that woman. Like that's you, man. You're gonna be everybody gonna know you because of the woman that you got, and you don't want to do that, man. You don't want to put a stain in your honor with that woman, man. You gotta make sure the type of woman you get is a righteous woman, a woman that's gonna a woman that's gonna listen to you, right? And all that starts with understanding the truth, man. Following Christ. You as a perfect man, you as a man that strives for righteousness, you're gonna want to get yourself a righteous woman, right? These hoes aren't gonna get in the way. Why? Because you can read their spirit and you can pick them out and be like, nah, that's not what I need. I need something. I don't need that in my life. And it all comes with patience too. Like getting to know this woman and talking to her and seeing what she's about, you will understand like this woman, man, this is what I've been looking for. Mm-hmm. I mean, she got a little rough edges, but I could deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I could shape her to, I could mold her into what I need her to be. Mm-hmm. Right. And I can deal with those, you know what I'm saying? Because and nowadays it's like every woman got a demon on her, right? Every woman got some sort of issue going on with them. And you can't just look at every woman like, man, I can't deal with that. Or no, not this. I'm not saying you shouldn't, right? Like if you don't want to, no man is obligated to have a wife, right? Like no man, there's no law where it says a man should have a wife, right? Or one wife only, right? You can have as many wives as you want, or you can have no wives, right? But if you're gonna get yourself a woman, make sure you get a woman that is of the Lord, right? And the only place to find women like that is in the ISUPK.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? In the ISUPK and the Commander Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Because these daughters of ours are valuable. You know what I'm saying? And we will charge you for them. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back. So I think that's it on that. Mm-hmm. Right. Slack. Let's keep going on that. Actually,
verse 8.
Come.
And the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 8.
Slack. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Slack.
Come.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Right. They were naked, right? Naked meaning they were ashamed of what they did, right? Like it's like you were exposed, right? Mm-hmm. Being naked means like you were exposed, and when you're exposed, you feel what? You feel ashamed. And you see that a lot in the Christian church when you bring out their crimes and what they have done to these children. It's like, what? I didn't know it was a crime to molest a child. Like I'm telling you, because that's what I heard in a video, right? He said the judge is telling him, you didn't know it was a crime to molest children. He said, no, I didn't. Oh, you did not know? You didn't know in the state of, I forget the state he was being tried. It's a crime to molest a child? No. And then it was like it was something big, but in his mind, he's like that's that shame. That shame is being exposed, right? That your nakedness is being exposed. And what's your nakedness? Disobeying the Lord, man. You want to disobey the Lord will bring that darkness into light. Right? You wanna disobey the Lord, boy. Guess what? Your darkness will come out. Your shame will be brought out. Right. It will be in the front and center, and everybody's gonna look at you as a disgusting, filthy pig, a disgusting, filthy liar, and a whore. Why? Because you disobeyed the Lord. You were looking at the trees around the garden. You were looking at all these other nations, and you seen that their knowledge was profitable for you. But now you're gonna realize, and you're gonna have breast cancer. You're gonna have troubles with your cycle, your monthly cycle. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have issues. Your woman gonna be talking back to you. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be so depressed. You're gonna start picking up addictions. Like you're gonna go lower and lower and lower the further and further you get away from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord said, like, if you turn your ear, you know what I'm saying, from hearing the law, the Lord will turn his ear from hearing your prayers. Like, if you want to get right with the Lord, man, I would rather listen to the Lord than a woman, than a silly woman. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be on the other side of the Lord. You don't want to be on the left side of the Lord, right? We're gonna drop that. I'm gonna get real quick. Let's get the book of Revelations. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Revelations 20 and 11. Go ahead, whatever you gotta say.
No sweat. Come. The book of Revelations, chapter 20, and verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away.
Right.
And there was found no place for them.
Right. There was a great white throne, right? And like what we're bringing out is what you're gonna see in the you know what I'm saying, in the kingdom of heaven, the last day. This is what you're gonna see, right? It says, I saw a great white throne and him that sat upon it, right? Why is this great white throne? Why is it white? Right? Why is it white? Because it's pure and it's clean. Right. It's righteousness, right? And him that sat upon it, right? And first of all, too, another thing too, for brothers, right? If you ever see heaven, right? There's like 3 heavens, right, in the Bible. There's the God, so like the throne where God sits on, right. The stars, like the space, and the sky above us, meaning the birds, right? Right. This is talking about the Most High's throne right here, right? Mm-hmm. And it says what? From those who face the earth and heaven. The earth and heaven are another metaphor for something else, right? The earth and the heaven, right? The earth is the low, right? The earth is the low governments, like for instance, like China, Japan, Africa, like Syria, like these are low governments, right? Mm-hmm. And the heavens would be the people that you look up to. You know what I'm saying? Who are the people that everybody looks up to? America, the Vatican, the Rome, the Hollywood, right? These are the people you look up to. Right. You know what I'm saying? And what does it say? It says, and there was found no place for them. Right? They fled away. Why is the heaven and the earth fleeing away? Why would the earth and the heaven, right? Why would they be fleeing away from him who sat upon it, right? From this throne. From what we're reading, why would they flee? This is Revelations 20 and 11. You want me to reread it? Come. And I saw a great white throne and him that sat upon it, whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. Right? Go ahead.
Sir, in this context, heaven would be like a metaphor for the high places of the earth, like who's ever in charge. And these people in charge of the earth, at the time that this man arrives on this throne, are afraid to see him because they
Right.
know what's going to happen when he shows up.
Right. Exactly. Right. And it says what? And there was found no place for them. Right. Why was there found no place for them? Because their time was up.
Right.
Their time is coming up, man. These people that you look up to, that you want to have deals with, and you know what I'm saying, you want to beat up your brother for, right? So you can get right next to them. Like these people, their time is coming up, and guess what? Your time is coming up too, man.
Right.
Right? You want to be with them because you look up to them. You look up to Hollywood. You look up to the police department, right? You look up to Joe Biden in America, right? You look up to them, and you think that they can secure you a position in their power. Well, guess what? Their position of power is coming to an end, man.
Right.
Their position of power is coming to an end, and guess what? You shouldn't trust your power. You shouldn't trust in their power. You should trust in a greater power, man. Because it's coming to an end, man. We're reading about the prophecies. We're seeing the signs that are to come. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at everything that's happening, and it's like we're doing is we're just waiting, man. We're waiting for the order. We're waiting for that time, right? Read verse 12.
Verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God.
Right.
And the books were open.
Right. The small and great, right? And I saw the dead, small and great, and stand before God, and the books were opened, right? What's that sound like? The books were opened. Like what do you what have you ever heard? Oh that man got hit with the book. Oh, they threw the book at him, like in court. This is what's happening in court. Like what you're seeing is what's going to happen when the Lord returns, when Christ returns, right? It said what? I saw the dead, small and great, meaning it doesn't matter whether you're poor or whether you're rich. We're all going to be what? We're all going to the same place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the books were opened. What are these books? Go ahead.
And like they're with the Lord in heaven.
Yeah, but what are the books?
What are the books?
Right.
The recording of everybody's deeds and actions.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. The recording of every deeds and action, meaning if you did something wrong, you're gonna get punished for that, right? If you did just like America's court system, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna open up the books, they're gonna see the type of man you were to fight your case. That you're getting charged with this. Well, let me look at his records. Let me see what he has done. Let me see. Okay, it says here you've been, you know what I'm saying? You did this and that time. I see, you know, you just got a slavery. You're doing a lot better. Or, you know what I'm saying? I see you got charged with drugs, and you're, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things are being brought and presented in this day, right? Meaning the rich and the poor are going to be hit, right, with these judgments, right? They're going to be, these books are going to be opened up, and we're going to see the type of man you were living here. That's why you got to make sure you stay righteous, man. That's why you got to make sure that you listen and obey to the Lord, man. You got to build up those books to help your case, man. You're building more case for Satan than you are for, you know what I'm saying, for the Lord to be on your side. You going and celebrating Valentine's Day. You going and getting yourself a and paying these prostitutes and doing all this other wickedness, right? You're giving Satan like a easy dub in that court case. Are you making your case like, man, This man, you know what? He didn't work hard for his seat. He didn't do what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do what the Most High required of him to do. He wanted to do what the world was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to look up to the heavens and please them, because everybody wanted to please the heavens. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to go to the Grammys. Everybody wanted to be a part or participate in that Super Bowl. Right? Keep going.
And another book was opened, which is the book of life.
The book of what?
The book of life.
Right. Keep going.
And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to works.
According to the what?
According to their works.
Right. Just what we explained, right? According to the works. The small and great, the kings and the homeless, right? Everybody's going in and everyone will get judged, good and bad. For what? For mercy. You know what I'm saying? All the records that the angels have recorded or have of you, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be presented that day, right? It says, hold on. Right? What's going to be brought out is the lives that you have ruined, right? The people that you mistreated, others that you beat up, right? The people that you stolen from, how many children you have aborted, all that's coming out, right? Which means what? You can't hide nothing on that day. Your whole, what is it called? Pedigree, your whole your everything that you've done from a child until then, right? To unto this day is going to be presented. And guess what? You didn't just live one life. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just live one life. We're being reincarnated. So it's like all that is going to be brought up. All that is going to be brought up. So it's like, you got to think, like, you want to make sure you're doing good now.
Right.
Like, you want to make sure you're doing good now. So it's like, nah, like, you want to, like, what's that scripture? You want to be bold as a lion in that day. Right? So when you go into that scene, you know what you're getting, you know what you're walking into. Right? Keep going.
Verse 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it.
And the what?
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it.
What is the sea? What is the sea? Damn. What is the sea? That's heavy though. You want to take a guess? Take a crack at it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In this context, would it be like the militaries of like the USA?
Nah. No. The sea, right? Read it again.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. Go ahead.
Gotta take another step. Like,
go ahead.
Okay. Does this go back to when like the flood that Noah had, that sea?
I mean, it's like that, but you wanna narrow it down, make it more simple. Go ahead.
Is the sea literal? Like it's really the ocean?
No, it's not. It's not an ocean. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give it to you. The sea is the world. You know what I'm saying? So the sea is the world and gave up the dead which were in it. Who are the dead that were given up? Go ahead.
Israelites.
Right, Israelites, right? But more specific, it would be you. You know what I'm saying? You were part of that sea. right? We all are part of that sea. You know what I'm saying? And we were gonna be cast into the lake of fire, but the sea gave up the dead. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine how waves crash, right? And then out of nowhere, it just spits you out, right? It's like you get brought to shore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to us. Like you wouldn't. It's almost like a damn near a miracle that we even got in here, seeing how we used to live in the world, the things that we used to do, the things that we were brought up, that we were programmed that it's okay to do, right? It's almost like impossible that we almost got in here, right? But nevertheless, we made it in. You know what I'm saying? And we still fighting to this day in here, right? Like that's the sea, right? The sea gave up the dead, right? And which were in it. Keep going.
And death and hell delivered up the dead, which were in them.
Right. Keep going.
And they were judged every man according to their works.
According to their works. Keep going.
Verse 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
Right. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Right. Go ahead.
This is the second death.
Keep going. Finish that.
Verse 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Right. Was cast into the lake of fire. Man, you want to take it like, what's the word? You want to make sure, like, you want to be appreciated that you're in here. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like I said, it's kind of like I said, it's like a miracle. You know what I'm saying? That brothers are willing to leave the world for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like so many brothers are not only traitors to their own people. Like, what makes you think they're gonna come in here and help their own help Christ? Right? Like everybody that like you would think Christ had a corner packed full of brothers and sisters waiting for him, you know what I'm saying, helping him out and supporting him. But once he said, you know what I'm saying, this is my blood and this is my, you know what I'm saying, like drink this, that's when everybody started questioning, like, man, crazy, right? Like he weird. And that's what happens every day when you hear about us, when we go out and tell brothers and sisters that the white man, so like the oppressor, is the devil, right? That this holiday is not love. A man can have more than one wife, right? Like, brother, like the world, your family's gonna look at you like, man, you crazy. Like, where'd you get? Like, where are you getting that from? It's the one of the things that they are gonna ask you. They're gonna question you. Where are you getting this from? Who's telling you this? Or you're being brainwashed? Or you sound crazy? Well, guess what? They call Christ crazy too. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's almost a damn miracle that brothers are still waking up to the truth to this day, right? And seeing brothers wake up to the truth, it's a glorious thing, man. The angels rejoice in the coming of one brother coming into class, man.
That's right.
Like brothers that come into the class and take a seat and get dressed in all black, say Khan on Khan, Father Khan, sir, Khan, and do what they're supposed to do, Khan, sir, the water, and do what they're supposed to do. Like it's beautiful, man. Because just like Zephaniah 2:1 says, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. We already not desired by our enemies. And I mean, you already heard what George Lopez said, you know what I'm saying? So it's like even our own people are not desiring themselves. Right. So to come in here, you're gonna get that desire. To come in here, you're gonna show desire to your own people. To come in here, you're gonna love your people, man.
That's right.
to come in here, you gonna feel that love once again, man.
Right.
And it's gonna be genuine. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be out of consideration for one another, man. Because we realize that we don't. This is all we got. We don't have nobody else.
Right.
Because the white man can't love you. Guess what? Christ is the one that you should be looking for, man. You shouldn't be looking for no other nation, no other president. You shouldn't be looking love from Joe Biden. You should be looking love from a black man that came from the tribe of Judah, who is Yahushua.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thamakia. Thamakia. Salaki. Thamakia. Yeah, they're up there. In that folder.
Isupk start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule from new brother and sister. When the new brother and sister comes to the school, they are limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to their brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, my Isra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of the teacher. Priest fund, free will for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Feast of Purim. The Feast of Purim, 14th day of the 15th day of the 12th month, Sunday of the 5th of March. Salaki, give me a second. Okay, March and Monday. So Salaki, 5th of March and Monday 6th March 2023. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Go ahead.
If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. This includes the Isupk security announcements. We'll give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Maju. Maju Shabbat. Maju. Rock. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yajim Matap. Dismiss.